look at that. You can see the swamp from here. You can see the river. You can see the rolling hills in the background. You can see the other river with the waterfalls. Today in SnowRunner, we are going to be checking out one of the most beautiful trails out here on the Tassie trailing map. And of course, we are going to be running the brand new Bronco Raptor by John Hot Rod. This mod is not yet available on consoles, but it will be as soon as it gets approved, although the add-on package, as of the date of recording this video anyway, has already been approved, and we're now just waiting on the vehicle itself. So let's fire it up. As you can see, we had ourselves a little campfire here at the camp last night. Well, my buddy's camper has since left, and we slept in that. We didn't sleep in this because it would have been a little bit drafty in here with these these tube doors, but don't worry about that. Now, for this particular adventure, we're actually running tires that are on the stockish grip level, and what stockish is it is essentially one little step, maybe even like a half step above vanilla tire grip. So there's definitely going to be some wheel spin, there's going to be some wheel slip, but it should be to a realistic degree, and this should give us a pretty dang authentic feel in terms of realistic trail riding. Now, the trail we are making our way to is going to be right up here on the left, and it's actually going to take us across a gorgeous ridge line, and I've never been on this trail before, and so I am insanely excited to go on this adventure with y'all. So this is where we're going to be making a left, and from here on out, this is all new to me. Now, like I said before, we are running the, air quotes here, stock-ish grip level tires. Now, as far as performance modifications go, we're running the 4-speed low and slow crawler box, and engines-wise, we are running one of the base engines. I believe it's the 556 horsepower base engine. I think it's like the Trail Rider engine, so it's a little bit better than vanilla spec, but not by much. Now, these tires are pretty dang big. I want to say they're like a 42, and our suspension is not spec'd for the 42s, but I feel pretty okay with that because if we ever need to lift this thing, we can just go into the active suspension modes, and we can turn the ride height up just a little bit. And as you can see, we've already gained quite a bit of elevation in not a very long amount of time. We haven't been on this trail for that long, and we are a long way above the river that we were a moment ago. I mean, literally, the river that we were camping out by is a distant dream at this point. It is a long gone thought. Now, let's see. Oh, it's starting to get a little steep, though. The visual aspects of this map are potentially what make it so good. Obviously, apart from the incredible trail dynamics, but look at how amazing these views are. And almost every trail that you take, every different trail that you take is gonna give you a different view. It's gonna give you a different vista. It's gonna give you a different, essentially just plain to look out over. All of these sort of wilderness skylines are gonna be completely different depending on which route you take. Now, I can already tell you, these stockish grip level tires are definitely giving me a lot more wheel slippage than I'm used to on a trail like this, and it definitely turns up the engagement, and it also turns up, in my opinion, the enjoyment factor if you want to get a little bit more of that raw feel. Now, on a map like TNB Trails that's got a lot of hardcore rock crawling, I'd probably still go with the Redline tires because those are tuned to feel a little bit more like a realistic sort of sticky mud tire would, whereas these are going to feel more like a, you know, like streetable mud terrain. When I say a sticky, I mean essentially so if you're not aware, there are different levels of an MT, especially in the rock crawling world. So if you just bought an off-the-shelf MT tire, like let's say you bought a, I don't know, like a Trail Grappler. Trail Grappler is a really, really common one. Now, you could buy a regular Trail Grappler, and that would be a MT tire that you could run, and it would do pretty well. Now, if you wanted to get into really serious rock crawling, you would look into what they call stickies. Now, what a sticky is it's essentially, a lot of them have the same tread pattern as their standard MT counterpart, but the rubber compound is a lot softer, hence the term sticky, or just stickies in general. Oh my god, this gets sketchy, especially on these slightly less grippy tires. Ooh, I did not realize how sketchy this was going to get. I'm already on a ridgeline, and I'm about to go off one side or the other. This is going to be an insane view at the top. Oh my god. Yo, from the interior view, like, looking out of here, this, I mean, it would be gorgeous in real life, but I also feel like it would be moderately terrifying because you are about as wide as the trail, and if you go off, especially in the real world, on a trail like this, it's kind of, well, goodbye. And when the reality of that starts to sink in, it's like, oh, okay, that's, again, moderately terrifying. But you know what overtakes that? The insanely good view. The view from up here, I don't know if I've ever seen a map that gives views like this one. This is absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's see. Is this going to be the highest peak? It very well could be. Ooh. Oh, wow. Look how far you can see. We're going to do a quick little 360 orbit so y'all can see how far this view goes. And honestly, I'm going to try to keep the speed of this orbit pretty, like, regular. Like, I'm going to try to not, like, vary the speed of it at all. Because look at that. You can see the swamp from here. You can see the river. You can see the rolling hills in the background. You can see the other river with the waterfalls. It's just, I mean, this is, I don't think you could get any higher on this map than we are right now. This is kind of the ultimate vista for this map. This is the ultimate viewpoint. If you want to be able to see everything, this is where you're going to do exactly that. So we're going to go ahead and take the e-brake off again. We're going to start rolling, and we're going to end our orbit. Now, this is where we're going to head back down onto the backside of the ridge. And, well, I guess, I don't know if this would be the backside of the ridge or not. I mean, I guess it depends on which way you climbed up the ridge from to begin with. Because if we climbed up the ridge from the opposite direction, then the direction we drove up in the first place would be the backside of the ridge. I don't know why I'm going on and on and on about that. It's all about perspective. It's all about which direction you come from anyway. So I think I'm thinking about it a lot deeper than I actually should. But back into the trail at hand. Now, I don't really want to put this thing in automatic mode right now, because if I put it in automatic mode, I feel like we're going to take off, and if we take off, well, we might end up down there, and that would not be good. This is one of the few times where I'm, like, part of me is glad there aren't additional rocks and, like, crap up here to fall off of. But at the same time, I do think it would be kind of cool to have, like, maybe a couple more, like, rocky, challenging elements mixed into a trail like this, because you're up here so high that if you were to mess up, like, on a rock crawling line, you could legitimately fall to your doom. And while that would be crushing, I do also think that it could add to not only the challenge of it, but the feeling of consequence, to where, like, hey, if I mess up my line, there's an actual consequence here. Like, if we're, you know, if we're doing this in an RP sense, I'm effectively doomed. And if we're even if we're not doing it in an RP sense, you still have to go back and restart the trail. So it adds in a little bit of that extra, you know, responsibility for your line that you kind of have to take. It's another gorgeous peak. Look at this. I am so mind blown by this. Like, you can see, technically you can see farther than the game can render, which is pretty wild to me, actually. Like, that you could see farther than the game can render at this point. This mountain range is just absolutely nuts. Now, coming down, ooh, this is gonna get a little steep on us, isn't it? At least I feel like it's gonna get a little steep. It might not be as steep as I think, but I'm gonna hold my opinion on that until we actually know how steep or not this descent is going to be. So far, it's not too bad. I mean, we haven't gotten into any kind of uncontrollable downhill momentum yet, you know, powered by gravity, which, you know, gravity is relentless. Gravity will be like, hey, you're coming with me, and it will mean it. And if you have let your descent get to the point on a mountain where the only thing controlling your speed is gravity, let me just tell you, gravity is a bit merciless, and It doesn't really care. Oh, wait. Okay, we turn left right here. I was like, where are we going? It gets a little close to the edge. I was like, please don't tell me we go just directly off of that. Because if we were to go directly off that, I feel like our adventure wouldn't last much longer. At least not, you know, not in the grand scheme of things. All right, let's throw it back into automatic for now, just to see if we can cruise in automatic without upsetting the rig. And it looks like we can. It looks like we're not in any kind of, you know, imminent danger, so to speak. Yeah, third gear is about where low plus would be. And fourth gear is, I don't even know if it's all that much faster than low plus. It's kind of just a cruise gear, which I always got to think back and remind myself, like when I'm driving this thing with the 4-speed crawler box, like it is a crawler box. It's not going to take off on you, you know? All right, where does this even go? Because I've never, wait, hold on a second. Oh, wait. Oh, I see now. Okay, so that actually makes complete sense. So essentially what we're about to do is now we're getting really close to linking up with a trail that we've done before. And what we can do is we can essentially follow this trail all the way from that mountain range down to the edge of the ocean right on the beach. There's so many different types of terrain you can encounter in one trail ride on this map, and I think that also brings so many elements of beauty to this map because you really do change environments so much. Well, maybe not like environments as a whole, but like little biome changes. You have the, you know, you have the really steep mountainy areas, you have the forested areas, you have the beaches, you have all of these different biomes within one map that just add to, I think, the overall, like, not only immersion factor, but just like enjoyment and replayability and just all of these different things that make a map great. This place has them in spades. Absolutely. Whoa! I put it in high there for a second because it started to like get a little bit odd in automatic. It was like not sure what it wanted to do, and I was like, yeah, you're going it higher now. You're not gonna roll back on me after that. Oh, now I know where I am. Yeah, I know exactly where I am now. I know that pond. I know. Dude, this is perfect. This is so perfect. Oh, whoa. No, 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 no. Wow, we do all that, and then we do all that on that enormous mountain range, and then this is what happens to us. That's pretty bad. That's pretty terrible. Like, I still want to make my way down to the beach. Don't get me wrong. Wow, that rock left the chat. I still want to make my way down to the beach. Don't get me wrong. But, like, the fact that we made it through the mountain range completely damage-free, and then we got down here and we rolled over an edge that was, like, completely avoidable, by the way. Yeah, that's kind of sad, like, to be brutally honest. That's very sad, actually. All right, down you go. Ooh, I'm trying to, like, almost Baja run this last bit because, whoa, I can see the beach and I really just want to get there. What if we just direct line it to the beach? Sendage, come on. We need at least one good send in this adventure, right? And boom, here we are down at the beach after our mountain adventure. And if y'all enjoyed this look at this trail on the Tassie trailing map, almost tripped over my own words there, happens sometimes. If y'all enjoyed this, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. And if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on, and I'll see y'all next time.